The first time my wife came home at 3 a.m., she didn't apologize. She didn't even try to lie properly. I was sitting on the couch in the dark when I heard the front door unlock. The digital clock on the wall read 3:07 a.m. She froze when she saw me. "Oh," she said casually. "You're awake." "You're just getting home," I replied. She kicked off her heels and walked past me like it was normal, like wives disappearing until 3 in the morning was part of healthy marriage behavior. "Where were you?" I asked calmly. She stopped halfway down the hallway, slowly turned and crossed her arms. "It's not your business where I'm going." That sentence hit harder than a slap. Not your business. After 11 years of marriage, after paying the mortgage, after building a life together, I stared at her for a long moment. "Not my business," I repeated quietly. "I don't need to report my every move to you," she snapped. "I'm not a child." I nodded slowly. "You're right," I said. "You're not." She rolled her eyes and went into the bedroom, slamming the door. But something inside me shifted that night. Not anger, not heartbreak, clarity. When someone tells you it's not your business where they go at 3 a.m., they're already halfway out the door. Over the next few weeks, it became routine. Late nights, phone always face down, showering immediately after coming home. The signs weren't subtle. She wanted to be seen as independent, but she didn't want to be questioned. One night, I decided not to argue. Instead, I prepared. I quietly separated our finances, moved my savings into a protected account, canceled the supplementary credit card she used, updated property documents. Not revenge, protection, because when someone says it's not your business, they're usually about to make it your problem. And then it happened. 3 weeks after that 3 a.m. argument, my phone rang at 3:42 in the morning. Her name flashed across the screen. I stared at it for a few seconds before answering. She was crying. "Please, please pick me up." Her voice was shaking. "Where are you?" I asked calmly. She gave me an address I didn't recognize. "What happened?" Silence. Then a broken whisper. "He left." Of course he did. I drove there slowly, not speeding, not panicking, just steady. The address led to a cheap apartment complex on the outskirts of the city, the kind of place you rent by the week. She was sitting on the curb outside, mascara smeared, dress wrinkled, phone clutched in her hands. She looked small. Not powerful, not independent. Small. When she saw my car, she ran toward it and opened the passenger door. "He took my bag," she sobbed. "My wallet. Everything." I didn't say anything. She kept talking. "He said he loved me. He said he was going to leave his girlfriend. I thought." I held up a hand. "Stop." She looked at me like she didn't understand. "I don't need the details," I said. She wiped her tears. "Can we go home?" That word, home. I leaned back in my seat and looked at her. "Why?" I asked quietly. She blinked. "What do you mean?" "You said it's not my business where you go." Her face fell. "This is different," she whispered. "No," I replied. "This is exactly the same." She started crying again. "I made a mistake." I nodded slowly. "Yes, you did." "Please," she begged. "I don't have anywhere else to go." I studied her for a long moment. This was the moment she expected rescue, the loyal husband, the safe backup plan. But something inside me had already shut off weeks ago. "I'll give you a ride," I said, "but not home." Her eyes widened. "What?" "I booked you a hotel room for 2 nights. After that, you can stay with your sister." She stared at me in disbelief. "You're not serious." "I am." "You're punishing me." "No," I said calmly. "I'm respecting what you said." She shook her head frantically. "I didn't mean it like that." "But you said it." Silence filled the car. I drove her to the hotel, paid for the room at the front desk, handed her the key card. She grabbed my arm before I could leave. "Are you really going to throw away 11 years?" I looked at her hand on my sleeve. "You threw it away at 3 a.m. Her fingers slowly loosened. The next morning, I filed for divorce, not out of rage, out of decision. Over the next few days, she called non-stop, left voicemails, apologized, blamed the other man, blamed loneliness, blamed me for being distant. But she never once blamed herself fully. That's when I knew there was no fixing it. A week later, she showed up at the house while I was home. I let her in. She walked through the living room and noticed something immediately. Her designer bags were gone. Her extra credit card was deactivated. The joint account balance was minimal. "What did you do?" she demanded. "I secured what's mine," I replied. "You can't just cut me off." "I didn't," I said calmly. "I separated." She looked around the house like she didn't recognize it. "You're so cold," she whispered. "No," I said. "I'm done." Then I delivered the final blow. "I also sent screenshots of your messages to your boyfriend's girlfriend." Her head snapped up. "You what?" I held her gaze evenly. "You said it wasn't my business where you were going. I decided to make it everyone's business." She went pale. "You ruined him." "No," I said. "He ruined himself, just like you." Apparently, the girlfriend had no idea about the affair. When she found out, she didn't take it quietly. She exposed him publicly. His job gone within days. Reputation destroyed. The same man who left my wife crying on a curb at 3 a.m. was now dealing with consequences of his own. That was my revenge. Not screaming, not violence, exposure, truth. My wife tried one last time to salvage something. "We can start over," she pleaded weeks later. "Why?" I asked. "So you can tell me again it's not my business?" She had no answer. The divorce finalized 3 months later. She moved into a small apartment across town. I stayed in the house. Peaceful, quiet, predictable. Sometimes people think revenge is about destruction. It's not. It's about boundaries. The night she said it wasn't my business where she was going, she unknowingly ended the marriage. The panic call at 3 a.m. wasn't karma. It was reality. And I simply chose not to be her safety net anymore.